What's up, YouTube? Poor Man Podcast back with another video. Today's video is going to be gender double standards. All right, before I get into the video though, gotta do YouTube stuff. The goal is 50,000 subscribers by June. It's a crazy goal, it's a big goal, but it's my goal. All right, the only way I'm gonna get to my goal is if you give me the HBO special. Do you know what the HBO special is? That's the Help a Brother Out special. All right, so go on and help a brother out. Hit the like and the subscribe button for more content. I'm gonna give y'all a second to do that. All right, now let's get to the video. Gender double standards. Let's see what they got to say.
Welcome back. It's Moments Girls Talk, and the topic is the gender double standard. Are women more targeted by double standards than men? Our guest with us is Ekwedewo. So that is the question, right? When it comes to double standards, and we'll kind of continue where we were talking about at the beginning, we'll start with the body count. Do you feel like men can have a body count of 10, 15, and people won't necessarily judge them to the place where if a woman has a body count of more than a double digit, she's considered and labeled?
What are you doing with more than a double digit as a human being, though? Triple digits?
No. When I say sorry, more than 10. I meant more than 10.
Oh, okay.
But girl, let's stop playing games. Some people is probably up there.
Yeah, it's true.
When you think about it, you know. So do you feel like for women, it's just an unfair comparison when you think about it, if a man is having sex with 10 women, it takes 10 women to have sex.
Yes, yeah.
Well, I definitely think we live in a society that encourages men or accepts men's polygamy or accepts that men are able to stray and that women are not, based on this kind of old-fashioned sense about the type, who women are. And I think that as a society, we condition women to think, some women to think that way as well. So I think that even women that want to be free sexually are ashamed. I actually think the same freedoms given to men should be given to women. And I think that more importantly, people should be asking about responsibility. Like, are you responsible with how you choose to have sexual liaisons? Are you protected? Are you just giving 20 women children and not being able to care for them? Yeah. I feel like that is the question that people should deal with more than...
You know what question people should be asking? Is if you're a woman, why are you allowing a man that has 20 children and it's proven that he's not going to be a part of their lives to impregnate you? Not only does he impregnate you, you carry the baby to term. Okay, this is what you should be asking. Because a lot of times I hear people say, men are, look at, he got all these baby moms and all these this and that. Understand that a lot of these women know when these men have kids. Okay, now sometimes, of course, some guys lie about these. I don't know why you lie about that, but sometimes people lie about it. But for majority of the times, these women know when these guys have kids. All right, and if you're baby mama number 4 and you still allow a man to impregnate you and you carry the baby to term, maybe we need to be looking at how many women are being irresponsible with their sexuality instead of just blaming men for all of the problems. And we're talking about double standards here. And the people who are for this movement, the equality movement, the fight for equality is a euphemism. They like to call it that. They don't ever seem to talk about double standards when it comes to... What I'm trying to say is when the ship is sinking, no one talks about double standards, all right? The man has to stay and die while the women and children get to sail off into the sunset on the little safety boat, right? But we don't talk about that double standard. Let's continue the video.
Then whether you're a HOE or not, and vice versa, are you responsibly taking care of yourself and the other people that you're sleeping with?
Okay, interesting.
We're accepting it, though, as women, right? Because we say that, men are allowed to. Who's allowing them? We are allowing them.
No, I don't agree. I think
majority
society is allowing them.
So who's society made up of men and women?
Yes, but traditionally, a man is a hunter-gatherer who's meant to spread his seed.
Yes,
a woman is... I'm talking about traditionally speaking. A woman is meant to be a nurturer, a protector, a homemaker. You know how it's said that women are more naturally monogamous, and there are all these myths around...
Girl, you ain't never met some others.
But there's lots of myths around how men are supposed to act and how women are supposed to act. So I think that also feeds into the whole issue and why some women feel they have to kind of hide or in some cases, lie about their body
I'm not gonna lie though, like in situations where I've had conversations with guys, who I've been interested in with about their numbers, for some reason, I don't judge them as harsh as
I judge men.
I can't
It's not
lie.
the numbers though. Here's my thing: is I'm just like, it's none of your business. You weren't there then. You're here now. Right now it's the two of us. Unless these numbers are happening during you, it's none of your business.
It's none of his business. It don't matter. It's just a thing of the past. The statistics are in, people. The data is already in. Okay? Promiscuity affects men differently from women. And how does it affect women? There's a direct correlation between how many partners a woman has been with before her marriage and how long her marriage will last. Holy moly. Who would ever thought that there's a difference between men and women when it comes to sex? Also, if you're promiscuous, you're more likely to go outside of your marriage. Why does that affect them? Well, it means that you're more likely to bring a child in that isn't his. Okay? And 200 years ago, when we didn't have paternity tests, people didn't know. Okay, people didn't know, so we had society. It was frowned upon to go around and have sex with everybody in the village because the man that you committed with, nobody would know who the baby of that child was or the father of that child was. All right, so the person working for you, the person that was your man or your husband at that time, he didn't know if that was actually his legacy or the heir to his actual throne. Okay, or the person that would carry on his family name because the kid might not have been his. So we have to stop this narrative that having a hoe phase or being promiscuous in the past doesn't affect what's going on now. It's just absolutely ridiculous. Let's continue the video.
Watching Moments Girls Talk, and today on the show we are talking about double standards. So before the break, Vimba, you were saying something. You were saying maybe if somebody was going through some sort of depression or incident and they used sex, essentially to ease them through
The way some people become alcoholics, the way, it doesn't make me a bad person. I was just going through a bad time.
I don't think it would make you a bad, you, the general you, not you, the person.
No. I always delete.
The person.
As far as I'm concerned.
my God.
If we have interactions,
She was
and then
reflecting.
you and I
That's
are
her
no
real
longer
life.
on good
That
terms
was her.
together, it never happened.
Really? So if you see the person out, you just be like, I don't know you, this person.
You know when Mariah Carey was like, I don't know her.
Yeah. Essentially.
I would still question if that person was like on a just
Starting your marriage on a lie.
bang streak, if they were okay mentally, not because of anything other than if you're aligning it with alcoholism, then
Do we have issues? What's going to happen in the future?
What are you trying to?
But aside from body counts, I think generally we as women have experienced a lot of double standards, and I mean, we all know like there's a huge movement going on with, equal pay and the inability for someone to be doing the exact same work as you, to have been there longer, even sometime. Yeah. And as a woman, you're still getting paid.
I think in an African context, especially, women are looked upon, especially if you're single and you don't have kids. I've done jobs where someone will say to me, well, I'm paying you less because at the end of the day, you're a small girl. Are you married? No. Do you have children? What do you want to do with the money? Do you know what I mean? Even though
What
it was
did
the
you
exact...
say to that person?
I said, I think that's completely out of order.
I would give them this.
Well, I left soon afterwards because there was no changing that person's mind. But my point is, there are also cultural contexts that affect things like pay when it comes to gender.
I live alone. Obviously, I'm single. I live alone in Lagos, so I don't have family here or anything.
Don't say.
And
You're
initially, when I started living here, it was tough because people look at you. I'm sorry to say, but Southern African girls have a certain stigma in Nigeria because a lot do come from all kinds of nefarious and extracurricular activities, but it's now up to you to stand your ground, to be who you are, and to say, well, you know what, this is who I am. I'm standing my ground. Take it or leave it. And eventually I find that the world does start accommodating you and respecting you for what you are. Because when I moved here, it was so tough because everybody, this girl from
it's true. I've had jobs where I've negotiated, they've not accepted, and come back a month later because they're like, well, we couldn't find a replacement, so therefore
here's your money.
Here's your money, do you know what I mean? And that's because I was like, no, I know what I'm worth. I know what I bring to the table. And not as a woman, as a professional in this field. Like, you can't have done something for over a decade and somebody tell you that you're going to be paid the same as somebody who's been doing it 1 year because they're a man. Are you mad?
So, Effie, what is your secret?
We're dying to know.
What is my celebrity secret? I'm an amazing dancer, but if you didn't know that is...
No, but we know that already.
Okay.
That's on social media.
What is a really?
I mean, I know you're amazing dancer because at my party, I had a magical 90s party. And I was there. You guys were out there.
We were there,
And I
yes.
brought gifts as well.
I know, she was.
Okay, guys, I think that's the end of them talking about the double standard. Now they're gonna go into more celebrity gossip and celebrity stories and this and that. You know how it goes sometimes. But I just want to dive into this a little bit. Oh, because the girl at the end, she talks a little bit, or the girl second to the end, the girl that says, you know, she gets around and she lies about how many partners she has or whatever. There's always this idea that everything is a social construct, okay? And I used a double standard earlier when I say that men, the double standard for men is you have to die on the ship. If the ship is sinking, you have to die and allow your family to continue to live, okay? And that is a double standard not because society made it one. It is a double standard because that's how men naturally are. We're naturally protective and we naturally want to provide. We find fulfillment in that. Well, how do we know that? Well, because civilizations even existed, there were men taking care of women and children. That's how we got to civilizations. You don't get civilizations without people first, okay? And people had to work together because life was hard, okay? The women were not drug along and made to be these slaves that people make them out to have been now. Like they say that's how it was in them, and that's just not true. We've worked together, okay? We knew our roles, and that's what it took to get to where we are. Let's get back to the social construct idea, though. With this idea, it says everything and any kind of guilt you feel is because society is making you feel bad. So if I'm on a diet and I see a piece of cake and I eat it, and I know I feel bad because I ate it. Everybody's been there, right? Everybody want to lose a couple pounds, whatever it may have been, getting beach body, all right? But you see a piece of cake and you eat it and you regret it, don't worry about it. That regret isn't because you let yourself down and you want to do better in the future. That regret is because society makes you feel bad about eating the cake. Like, we've gotten to the point where accountability is just gone now. Like, you don't want to be accountable for anything. You don't want to be accountable for your promiscuity. You don't want to be accountable for your weight. You don't want to be accountable for what's in your bank account. Like, people just don't. Anytime anyone has a problem nowadays, they just blame it on society instead of looking in the mirror and saying, how can I fix my current situation? You will never get better if you expect people or society to help you. Stop trying to make society weaker for people. That will never happen. Society is never going to dim down because of people. Bullying isn't going to stop happening, is what I'm saying. Okay? All you can do is teach your kid to be stronger so that when the bully comes, he's prepared for it. Okay? That's all you can do. And a lot of times, if you keep the fight up, even if there's let's just use a bully example. If you fight the bully, you realize that it wasn't as bad as you thought. Okay? And the bully doesn't want to keep coming back because it's a little harder than it was. It was a little harder than it was before this time when you fought. Okay? So don't continue to look at yourself and how you can better yourself to go out and fight the world. Because the world ain't going nowhere. It's always going to be a cruel place. It always has been. Stop being a bum. Till next time.